y'all, so today I'm going to show you how to cover crochet hooks with polymer clay. This is a really easy tutorial and I've seen some other YouTubers do it, and I just wanted to kind of show you how I did it and then have this tutorial on my channel. So what you'll need is some polymer clay, you'll need some aluminum crochet hooks, some pins, and a X-Acto knife. So I'm here working on like a cardboard surface so that it's kind of smooth and hard because you're going to be working with the clay. And the way we'll start this is we'll take our crochet bricks. They come in little 1 ounce or 2 ounce bricks, and you'll just cut a little piece of it off. You do not need a whole lot to cover a crochet hook. I'm using 3 different colors here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working these in my hand until they form into little like strips, like a little snake or whatever, and then I will combine those together. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just going to work these little chunks of polymer clay into longer strips. Okay. Once you have the strips formed, then you're going to go ahead and just braid them together or twist them together. And this isn't a necessary step, but I just like to do it so that I can get all the colors kind of combined, so that way when I put them on the crochet hook, they create like a marbled effect. So see that? Pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and then cut this into little chunks, not really big chunks, and they do not have to be even. And then I'm going to begin to place them on my crochet hook. So what I'm showing you here is the last time I did it, I covered it all the way up to the tip almost. This time I'm going to stop it right where the size shows so that I don't have to worry about trying to remember what size the crochet hook is, or I don't have to write it in with a Sharpie at the end. So here I am, I'm just going ahead and covering up the crochet hook, putting a little bit there at the end. And it's really neat. You don't need to put a lot on the crochet hook. Really, for me, it provides a little bit more cushioning at the end of the hook, but it also is really cool looking. You know, I'm all about things that look neat and cute, so this is one of those things. See, just like that. And you just roll it out. You don't want to overwork this though, because as you start working with the clay and you keep manipulating it, it will begin to blend together. And so in order for you to have a really cool marble effect, you want to just kind of work with it as you need to, but don't overwork it. See, doesn't that look neat? Really cool. And you can still see the size. You can still see the crochet hook size, which is neat. So that's what I'm showing you there. Okay. And since we have some left over, of course, it's really neat to kind of have a matching pin. So I'm going to show you how to do that. If you wanted to do a pin, you just get a little cheap pin. Make sure it's a stick pin, because you're going to want to pull that ink out. You don't want to bake the ink in the oven, just like you know when you bake the pin. So you're going to go ahead and pull that ink part out. See, I'm showing you here. Once it's done, you can pull it out. If the ink runs out, you can always just replace the ink and keep your casing. So that's pretty neat. So just the same way that I did the crochet hook, I'm going to go ahead and make little dices or little pieces, and I'm going to put that onto the pin. Now the thing about the pin, because it's plastic, you are going to need to press it a little bit firmer just to make sure that it stays on the pin, but it's not any more of a process. You just need to press it a little bit harder. So just like that. And like I said before, you don't have to worry about it being everything really close together, because as you start rolling it, it's going to expand. So you're just going to use a flat surface to make sure that everything rolls together nicely. And just like that. And I'm just covering up the tip. And you want to look for uniformity. You don't want it to be too thick. You want it to be, however you would write. You want to make sure it feels good in your hand. You don't want a really thick thing, unless you like writing with really thick, writing utensils. I try to keep it thin, but just also have the look that I'm looking for. Yep, I'm just working it in, and there you have it. And see there? That's what you want to do. Make sure you don't have any of the clay inside the barrel. I think I showed that previously. Just make sure there's nothing in there. And I had a little bit extra clay, so what I did, I went ahead and made like a little cube, and I'm going to make that into a stand so that the pin has somewhere to stand, just because your girl is extra. So I just made myself a little stand for the pin. Isn't that cute? Okay, so here are the items here that I'm gonna bake. So here I'm taking a piece of cardstock, a heavy cardstock, and I'm just going to fold it up like a little accordion, and this is just going to allow me to place my crochet hooks and pins in there where they won't roll together. You can also just lay them in the pan like on a piece of parchment paper, just very gingerly, and then put them into the oven, and they also won't roll together. So you don't have to use a cardstock if you don't have it. So here I am, I'm just showing you, once you get the pins out of the oven, you can go ahead and reinsert the ink part to the pin. So that's what it looks like there, and that's it with this little stand. How cute is that? And then this one here, I left a little opening in the back because I like to write where I have my pin caps on my pin, so I just left a place for me to slide a pin cap on. That's that. Here is the polyurethane that I'm using. It is a water base, so just remember that. And here I'm just dusting off the crochet pins and hooks with a little piece of coarse fabric. Some people use sandpaper. I seen one lady use a piece of jean cloth. So that's what you use to just kind of keep everything smooth and not sticky. Okay, and the water-based polyurethane that I'm using here, it took about 30 minutes or so to dry, 24 hours to make sure that it's really, really dry, but I didn't have any issues with it being sticky after about 30 minutes. And here I am, I'm just kind of getting it all good to go. So there you have it. Those are my tips on how to cover your crochet hooks and pins with polymer clay. And here I'm just showing you some of my end results. I got a little carried away, but it was really fun and really easy, and my kids got involved with it. So there you are. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. Please check out my last couple of videos and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Bye.